A man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life. The love for all living creatures is the most noble attribute of man. Ignorance more frequently begets confidence than does knowledge. It is those who know little, not those who know much, who so positively assert that this or that problem will never be solved by science. A republic cannot succeed till it contains a certain body of men imbued with the principles of justice and honor. But if we were intentionally to neglect the weak and helpless, it could only be for a contingent benefit, with a certain and great present evil. It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. My mind seems to have become a kind of machine for grinding general laws out of large collections of facts. Anyone whose disposition leads him to attach more weight to unexplained difficulties than to the explanation of facts will certainly reject my theory. A scientific man ought to have no wishes, no affections, a mere heart of stone. I have called this principle, by which each slight variation, if useful, is preserved, by the term of natural selection. False facts are highly injurious to the progress of science, for they often endure long. It is not the strongest of the species that survives, not the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is the most adaptable to change. Man in his arrogance thinks himself a great work, worthy of the interposition of a deity. More humble, and I believe truer, to consider him created from animals. An American monkey, after getting drunk on brandy, would never touch it again, and thus is much wiser than most men. Conscience looks backwards and judges past actions, inducing that kind of dissatisfaction, which if weak we call regret, and if severe remorse. But then with me the horrid doubt always arises whether the convictions of man's mind, which has been developed from the mind of the lower animals, are of any value or at all trustworthy. The highest possible stage in moral culture is when we recognize that we ought to control our thoughts. Nothing exists for itself alone, but only in relation to other forms of life. It is those who know little, and not those who know much, who so positively assert that this or that problem will never be solved by science. I feel most deeply that the whole subject is too profound for the human intellect. A dog might as well speculate on the mind of Newton. Let each man hope and believe what he can.